this camp, and how optimistic are you about the way this team's been evolved over the summer and the changes that were made?
Had a really good summer. I thought enjoyed some time at home and didn't have to deal with a surgery rehab this summer, so I was able to put a full summer in. And obviously coming into camp healthy now is really exciting for me.
And working with a guy like Cotter, obviously a new guy. Now, what do you learn from him in the few days that you've experienced him at camp and been on the ice with him?
Yeah, I think he's a good blend of a few things. Obviously, you see the kind of hands he's got and the moves he can do in a shootout, but he's a heavier guy, and he likes to play that kind of fourth line game, and I think he'll suit me well. It'd be fun playing a guy like that who wants to make plays.
What about seeing guys like the change on the defense, bringing Pesci, Dylan, Marsham in goal, all the, does that get you amped up all the more about the season getting started?
Yeah, having guys like that standing behind you makes you feel good. It makes you feel safe out there. Shooting on the goalies in the morning, it's pretty cool to see the tandem we got now there in net, and adding big, strong defensemen like that. I don't think you can have enough of those guys, so it's been great.
Nate, what's been the messaging from Coach Keefe here these opening 2 days, what he needs you to do, what he wants you to do?
Starting from scratch, kind of. We got to build a foundation, and we have a short camp, obviously, and a quick turnaround before we head to Europe, and we need to work at building a sustainable culture here. I think in the past we've dealt with injuries, and when we have injuries, our team really struggles, and we need to find a way to have a locker room that believes we're going to win every game regardless of who's in the lineup. So starting on day one, just every day trying to stack days.
One of his philosophies has been sprint to everything. Has that been like an adjustment, or?
Maybe not so much an adjustment, but the amount of emphasis on it, it's definitely an adjustment. I think most coaches in the league would expect their guys to come in and want to be fast and sprint and play with that kind of urgency, but I think a lot of our stuff so far that we've done has been so tailored towards it, you can see how important it is for them.
When we had Paul out here yesterday, he called your line with him and Curtis the meat line. And
Okay.
it's taken off. A fan I want your thoughts. You sign off on the meat line.
Yeah, I heard we're getting T-shirts made.
Does it feel like there's some quick chemistry there? That looks like it might be.
Yeah. When you play that kind of role, the idea is, being very simple and predictable. So ideally, when you're in that role, you can stick together and learn from each other. But there's going to be times through the year where that, in particular, is a line that sees a lot of change, right? So if we look good early, it's probably because we've kind of played similar games in the past, and hopefully little things along the way we can continue to get better at.
Besides the injuries last year, Nate, were there any lessons learned, or, from the players, from the people we were talking to yesterday, everyone just wants to forget about last year, and everyone's looking forward, but is there anything to be learned out of what happened last year?
Yeah, I don't really think you should forget about it. It feels like it's almost good that it happened to us in a way. Like, I think we came into camp and we thought we were pretty sweet, and it's a tough league, and the league doesn't get easier. It gets harder every single year. So it's cool that you come to camp, and it doesn't matter if you're on an 8-year deal or a 1-year deal. There's that little bit of anxiety that you want to come out and put your best foot forward, and I think with how we struggled last year, it was even more obvious this year. We wanted to come and do well right off the bat.
As we talked about, you guys were pretty active in free agency and with the Markstrom trade. Just how did you follow along with it all? How are you getting your news, and what was your reaction when kind of all those started rolling in?
Probably a little bit after you heard about it. I might have heard about it. I'm not like on Twitter or anything. Obviously, I would get some updates. My high school buddies back home, we have a group chat, and they like to throw some stuff in there. So when you see you trade for Jacob Markstrom for a player, I think you just hope it's not you. But no, just like everyone else, we find out about things.
How about opening the season in Prague? What would that mean?
I think it's a super cool opportunity. We always try and get together as a group and do something team bonding related before the year, and to have them kind of ship us over to Prague and go see where Pally and Tuna are from, I think is super exciting, and it's a good chance for us to get together as a group right off the bat.
And play against Lindy Ruff?
He'll be there, yeah. So I'm sure the game will mean as much to him as it will to us.
Hey, Nate, what's this camp and this season mean for you? In other words, it's the last year of your contract. They brought in some guys here. There are challenges for spots. What's your thought about all that?
Honestly, like sometimes you hear that in the summer, like what a big year for you, contract year, whatever. But it's still the NHL, and every year you're kind of fighting for a job. Especially my job is a little more probably up for grabs compared to some other guys in that top 6. So as far as my mindset goes and how I prepared this summer, very similar. Like I said earlier, I kind of add little things to my routine and this and that, and you come into camp and you put your best foot forward, and it's all you can really do. Contract aside, those kind of things, they tend to take care of themselves, and lucky for me, I think the better the team does, the better my success is. So just do everything to help the team.
You feel that competition helps you in your game?
Yeah, the competition is great. I think the last thing you want in this league is that a room with a bunch of guys that are too comfortable. So I think having too many good players, too many young prospects, I think these are all good problems to have.
That were made over the summer on defense, goaltender, Markstrom coming in. How excited are you for this season to get going?
Extremely excited. Yeah, lengthy summer. It's great to get everyone in here. Guys have been in here for a couple weeks already. We've been chomping at the bit. So not only we got some great hockey players, but we got great people. A lot of personality within that dressing room. The vibes are high, and I think you guys seen too. We're putting in the work. We mean business this year. We want to redeem ourselves from last season. I think we're off to a good start.
And Cotter, obviously one of the guys working with. What have you noticed from him the first couple of days at camp, or maybe even before that, skating with him?
He's very skilled. I didn't know how skilled he was. I think we saw a glimpse of there just with that shootout move, but high speed. His hands are incredible. I think that's something that, obviously playing with Bass before, we kind of know what to do, but to have that element to kind of open up the ice and create room, it's going to complement us well. Cotter's not afraid to get dirty as well. I think that's going to be our identity as a line, and I'm excited to play with him.
You said good guys. He seems to be a guy that not only is a good guy, but it's got some personality to him.
Absolutely. He's a character. We're excited to, I guess, see what he has to say throughout the year. He's going to be a good guy for quotes, I think.
He's already coined you guys the meat line. What is your...
I don't know. I thought I was all skill. So I don't know. I think what Dylan was saying now, I guess we're in the meats and the mitts now because Cotter's pretty slick with his hands. So I don't know. Again, I came in last year and said I'm a meat and potatoes player. So again, I hope it's a good cut of meat at least. But no, I think we can run with it, have some fun. We're going to be an identity line. We're going to be hard to play against, and I think we're all excited for that opportunity just to kind of set the tone and ride those waves of momentum throughout games.
You got a preseason Ironman streak going from last year. We looking to run that forward here until you guys finish off?
I think it's going to be hard to go for Prague and back with the other couple, but a little bit different this year. Again, we'll see how it kind of shakes out, but in all honesty, I felt great last year playing, 6 or 7 games. That's all about repetitions, and as much as you can practice and scrimmage and whatnot, the preseason games are where you get your actual work and get up to game speed and just kind of feel confident out there. So we'll see. I mean, if I play all 4 next week, I'm more than happy. Honestly, I want to play and get things going. So it's a bit of a different camp, but I think we're attacking it head on. We'll be ready to go for Prague.
What are your early impressions of Sheldon?
He's been awesome. I think first and foremost is he has a plan laid out. We come in very detailed, the specifics of the practice plans in play. The drills are on the board for us to kind of digest them before he goes over them. The little things as much even the duration of the drill. And he's down to the minute of how he runs a practice. So you guys tell it's up paced. It's direct with a purpose, and it's allowing us to execute too. So we're pushing each other, but we're getting things done and we're understanding it. So trying to implement some systems because it is kind of a shortened camp, but he's been great to work with, and I think you see that excitement in him as well. Lengthy summer, lots of moves, and now the fun time is just putting in the work.
Did you have much communication with him over the summer after he got the job?
Not necessarily. A couple talks on the phone. Me being here, I ran into him a couple times. But again, as a coach of the new team, he's trying to get to know everyone and whatnot. So not only getting to know our players too, but the other staff members, get on the right page. So now he's kind of opened up, and like I said, you kind of see that excitement in him. He's excited to get going. I even think the day before we started, he was on the ice by himself, kind of getting his hands going and whatnot. So he's been awesome so far, and I think we're all buying into what he's got to offer.
Is he doing things differently than any previous coaches you've had, Curtis? I mean, when you talk about having a plan, you would think like a lot of coaches have different type of plans, but why is this unique or special in its own right?
I mean, every coach kind of has their systems that they want to play, and I'm sure it's kind of a hybrid of what he's done in the past as to, you know, what the strengths of this team are. Are there new things that I've never seen before? Not necessarily. It's kind of, you know, what's going to make our team tick, and I think ultimately, you know, be predictable with the puck and be on the same page. If you're able to do that, know where the next play is going to happen, you know, that allows us for our speed to take over, our creativity. And I do think, you know, first and foremost, that just that emphasis on playing defense. You got to keep the puck at your net. We're not going to outscore our mistakes, and I think, you know, we get a grasp on that, we're going to be in really good shape.
Last year, you kind of floated between the wing and the center. Is it primarily the plan for you to stay at center this year?
I think so. I'm sure as the season go, I'll play left, right, and center, just kind of as I did last year. But right now, kind of down the middle. Been a while since I've had, you know, a true crack at that again. Was a natural centerman, probably more of a natural winger now. But I feel comfortable in the middle. I like playing between the dots and kind of, you know, I've alluded to last year and saying, you know, put out those fires in the defensive end, just kind of dictating the play, down low, being strong, you know, ending those battles and breaking up the puck. So again, that's an area that I'm trying to be the best I can be wherever I play.
Do you see benefits to starting the season in Prague, based on the fact that there are a lot of new faces here?
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely a cool team bonding experience, and I think what we have to kind of really dial in, and what we've talked about already, is, you know, we're not going there just to kind of get our feet wet, play a couple of preseason games. I mean, that's our season. So we want to get down there, and it's a business trip. So yeah, we can have our fun. It's going to be good. I mean, even the plane ride itself, just having a time to sit down with guys, get to know them, because still a lot of guys with their families are trying to get settled and whatnot, and training camp's a grind in itself, so you just kind of want to rest and recover, recharge those batteries. But it's great. I mean, I did the China trip before back with Calgary, and that was quite the experience and something that you never forget. So again, it's always a lot memorable when you win those games, so that's kind of where our mindset has to be.
What's the feeling within the room right now? Obviously, you know what happened last year versus, you know, how you're coming to training camp.
It's a lot of excitement. As much as we want to kind of touch on last year and just the failure that it was, I mean, I don't even think we're thinking about it. It's a new year. It's a clean slate. New coach comes in, and these moves you made, there's no more excuses. It's just a matter of us putting the work. And, you know, I think it's pretty fair with the moves that were made. I mean, if you're not getting the job done here, then Fitzy's going to find someone else to do it. So I think as a whole, and the guys that we have, we're determined to get the job done. And, you know, I'm sure the outside noise and everyone says we're going to be a top team. Well, now we've got to prove it. So hopefully that we can do that, but it starts each and every day in camp.
Thanks.
Cheers.